Hello everyone. So in this video I'm going to give you a few tips which you must remember while appearing in the IPU CET exam scheduled on 10th and 11th of June 2023. Now you know that IPU CET is an objective type examination which will be conducted on a pen and paper format comprising of 150 questions to be done within a time frame of 150 minutes. If you follow these tips and these guidelines very thoroughly, I'm sure that you'll be able to enhance your score at least by 60 to 80 marks. So without further ado, I'll start with my tip number 1. In this exam, there are 4 sections. A section on quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning, verbal ability, and general awareness. So start this paper by doing section in which you are most comfortable in. That means a section which is your strength area. Why do I say that? Because initial 10 to 15 minutes of any exam is very crucial. That can either boost up your confidence or that can mar your confidence. So if you start with a section in which you are comfortable in, you're sure that within 15-20 minutes you would have got at least 15 or 20 marks in your KT, and that will boost up your confidence. Number 2, don't start solving question in a linear order. Most of the students, what they do is that they start with question number 1, then 2, then these 3, then 4, then you encounter a difficult one, then a moderate difficulty, and by the time your time is over, you find that there are a lot of questions which are left unattempted. So that shouldn't happen with you. So a better approach is skim the paper and divide the paper into questions into 3 rounds. Round 1 questions, round 2 questions, round 3 questions. Round 1 questions are questions which are easy. Round 2 are moderate and round 3 are difficult. So in any examination, there will be at least 50% questions which are of easy level. 30% questions will be of moderate and remaining 15 to 20 will be of difficult ones. Spend most of the time in doing questions which are of easy, remaining doing moderate, and in case you are left with any time, then only move on to the difficult one. Easy questions are those questions which you have seen earlier, which can be done within a time frame of less than 30 seconds, and which are sitters, which can even be done by plugging in values. While moderate level questions are those which are not difficult, but they are time consuming, doable but time consuming. So you can even spend a lot of time in doing them. While difficult questions or higher difficulty level questions are questions which you have not encountered earlier, which you are looking in the examination for the first time, and these are the questions to be left in an examination. But what happens with most of the test takers is that they spend a lot of time in solving those questions, and that deteriorates their performance, because once you are stuck up in those questions, probably you get frustrated, and that frustration is reflected in the remaining paper. So you should not be doing it. 3, never ever fall in love with any questions or take any questions in ego. There's a possibility that you start solving a question and then you're stuck up. So if you think that you're stuck up and you're not able to move ahead within, let's say, 40-50 seconds, then you should not be spending any more time. Leave that and move ahead. You can come back to that question maybe later on. So don't fight for it unnecessarily. Number 4, read the instructions very thoroughly and also read the question at least twice so that your interpretation is in track and you are not solving it without a proper interpretation. Very crucial. Number 5, you should be assigning different time to different sections. Like for example, GK questions can be done much faster. So you should be assigning less time to GK questions or GK section. While in case your quantitative aptitude is weak, then you should be assigning maximum amount of time to quantitative, then to logical reasoning, then to probably general awareness, and so on and so forth. It all varies from person to person. So devise this before going or do this kind of an allocation before going for an examination. Point number 6, leave 10 minutes as a buffer time, wherein you can probably go back to the sections or to the questions which you would have left or which were unattempted or for revision. So in case it's a 150 minutes paper, you assume that it's only for 140 minutes. Last 10 minutes should be left for review, for revision, and going back and referring to questions which have been left unattempted. And remaining 140 minutes to be allocated among the 3 sections. Number 7, keep a track of your time. It's at any point in time. It should not be overshooting a time which you have allocated for a particular section. Number 8, there are a lot of questions which can be done by elimination strategy, by eliminating that there are some weird options. There are 4 options. If you are smart enough, you will be able to analyze that these 2 cannot be my options. Then you can make smart guessing. But that should only be done in case you have been able to eliminate 2 options. Number 9. There are a lot of questions of quantitative aptitude and data interpretation which can be done by plugging in values. So, in fact, questions of algebra can be done by plugging in values. You can start putting 0 in your answer options or your questions and see whether that satisfies the results or you get the right answer or not. This is important. Number 10, you should not lose your hope till the last minute. This is very crucial. So you should always be motivated enough. There's a possibility that initial few questions might not be right, but in case you start losing your hope, then by the time your time gets over, probably you would be lost. So that should not happen. There's a possibility that there are a lot of questions at the end which will be there from your own comfort zone, which you would be able to do only once you reach that kind of a point. So never lose your hope. One last point which you can also remember is that keep your moral high, and if you follow these instructions, I'm very sure that you will be able to get good marks in this exam. So all the best, and I'm very sure that if you follow these instructions, you will be able to do well. All the best and do well. Thank you.